We talking shop, we talking shop, we talking shit, baby. We talking shop, we talking shop, we talking shit, baby. We talking shop, we talking shop, we talking shit, baby. We talking shop, we talking shop, we talking shit, baby.
Yes, sir. Talking Shop, episode 140, presented by Anchor. I'm your host, Bobby Hall, and with me, as always, my co-hosts Dylan the Savage and Joe the Greek. Boys, we back with it. What's gooch?
Going on, fellas?
I haven't heard that in a while.
The books.
Yeah, baby. We're back with it. Happy to be podding. I don't know what it is, man, but a 4-day work week seems to go by way slower than a 5-day, which I don't get because I had Monday off.
That is true.
I feel like it took forever for Friday to get here.
Like you're anticipating the extended weekend. Mentally, it kind of slows down your reality. In a sense.
Well, I had a 4-day weekend too, so maybe that kind of added to it as well because I took Friday through Monday off. But I kind of went into it thinking, all right, well, at least I only got the 4 days. We'll get right back to the weekend, chill. But yeah, man, I had some long days for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually a shorter week from a work standpoint. I've been busting now. I mean, minuscule. I know some people are out there working like 70, 80 hours a week. So I don't mean to like throw anything on that. But, 40, or not 40, but 50 hours on the dock is kind of rough too, in a sense. But this week is more like 38. Easier week work-wise, but still on the grind.
What were the soups this week?
No, that's just a winter thing.
No, now that it's in the 30s and 40s,
it's too warm, man. It's too warm for that.
It's too warm for that, man.
So what's going to happen in the summer? Are they going to serve like popsicles and?
Nope.
They bust out the grill.
Gatorade.
They bust out the grill, man.
Okay.
We throw some brats on there, some hot dogs, some. They're not D-Lo burgers.
D-Lo burgers?
Stretching the man. No. They're not any D-Lo burgers, but.
So they ain't ready for those.
They're suitable. No, absolutely not.
Frozen.
A D-Lo burger, Joe?
I know what they are, but no, I don't want them.
Hey,
I don't need to feed 80 people for the $30.
What's that SpongeBob meme you use? Old Reliable or whatever.
Old Reliable, yeah.
It clicks open with the frozen patties inside.
Stupid.
Yeah. Those are great patties, man. Like restaurant quality. Just needed like whoever's behind the patty as well. Makes a difference. Season them up a bit.
Yeah, baby. Come on. Get you
cardboard.
Maybe when we get with Walter, that'll be a good time. He can try one too. He might like a D-Lo burger.
A box on me.
Patty.
Yeah.
If we're going up there to talk to that dude to get like real barbecue and maybe a gator, I'm not messing with no damn D-Lo burger.
I don't know. Can't knock it till you try it. All right, Dylan.
That is absolutely right. And some people are going to be able to try it coming up in a couple weeks with the NFL draft. Speaking of extended weekends,
D-Lo burgers are going to be in the menu for the draft?
I'm going to try to see what I can do, weather permitted.
Oh, man. Okay. That just changed the game. Because I do have that Friday off, so...
I got a little greedy too. I got that Thursday off as well.
Oh,
yeah. If I don't get off super late, because that's probably you're probably 2 hours away.
About an hour, yeah, but give or take hour 45, depending on how you drive.
And that shit starts at 8, right? So
you can make it.
If I get off work at a decent time, man, I'll probably make it down there. It's gonna cost me $8,000 in gas, but
dude,
hey. When there's D-Lo burgers involved, you pay the money.
Dude, we went and got a whole new car. We got a Nissan Rogue, brand new Nissan Rogue. That thing is great on gas, but still super expensive. I mean, like 35 miles a gallon. It's amazing.
Because now my truck payment's going to go into gas.
Do some bullshit. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. Glad it's the weekend, ready to kind of get some relaxation in. I got James coming through. I think we're 95% done with the basement. He's gonna come back, put the sink and toilet back in, and that's pretty much it. And then eventually we just got to do a little, cleaning on the walls. I'm gonna probably paint in there. Probably should have did it before all that stuff went in, but it is what it is. I'm happy, man. We got the floor. Our floors are looking good. We got that good luxury vinyl plank in here.
Luxury vinyl.
So you extended it through the hallway.
But it looked real, yeah. Yep, from the bathroom to the hallway. And then I think Monday or Wednesday, my boy Nick is going to come through and put some up there by our front door, which is going to make that look nice too.
Isn't it cool knowing people that know how to do stuff?
Yeah, man. Yeah, and he was trying to do it. He's like trying to do it for free, but I'm like, I can't let you do that. So I sent him a couple $100 for doing the flooring. I mean, it only took him maybe, a couple hours between a couple evenings and shit. So it's awesome, man. And then James came through, and that was the big thing. I got my sink, and then I'm gonna have a toilet down here again. Got to keep the bathroom because at one point I told you guys, it was very much considering just turning that bitch into a broom closet, and
that's crazy.
Just not trying to figure something out with the sink. But next thing is dishwasher. So and my boy Nick said he can probably get that swapped out. So that'll be cool.
Home ownership is great.
Yeah, yeah. So really, really glad that's over, man. Because it was a long 3 months. Very, very much anxiety ridden, stressful, and I just didn't ever really see a end point, But these guys saved me a lot of money, a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Like multiple thousands of dollars, and it's great, man. I'll be able to kind of. Now I just got it because the thing that sucks is all this concrete cutting and shit. Like everything down here is just kind of covered in dust. I'm kind of inching my way through, trying to get everything cleaned up because it's just even putting up like a big ass covering over here. Shit, obviously kind of just got blown through while everyone's walking through and all that shit. So just got to. It's like the basement went through like a fucking hurricane or something. Now we're kind of just finally picking up the rubble and getting back to normal.
But better and stronger.
Yeah. But happy, man. Very happy. And it's just it's good. It's good. And we're just gonna kind of keep knocking out these little house upgrades and shit and keep it rolling, baby. So but
nice. I don't know. I'm so low today. Camera here.
Just your seat or a camera?
Take a breath.
Let's have my monitor.
Take a breath, and I'm gonna check your balls.
All right.
I feel bad for the doctors. I have to check your shit, man.
It's usually two of them.
Yes. Holy fuck.
Whatever.
But boys, we're here for episode 140 of these things. Pretty awesome.
Riding up.
I'm thinking that before we get to bring our guests out, I'm kind of thinking that we're going to knock this one out. I don't really have anybody after this week, so I'm thinking maybe next Friday we do a live stream, and then I'm thinking about maybe doing like a 2-week little break, kind of give us some time to Dylan, you're trying to finish up the merch store side of things. That'll give me time to kind of maybe try to reach out to some more people, try to set some shit up. And then Joe, that'll give you time to play on your computer and catch back up with Jesse and stuff. And plus, I think it'll be kind of just good to take a little mini breather and just jump back in and then get through to like the anniversary episode, season finale, and call it good. I mean, we'll talk more about that later on, but that's kind of just my thinking on that side of things.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. Yeah, that live. Yeah. I always enjoy the live sessions. The 540 challenge. Will it be conquered then? Who knows? Yet to be determined. So
we're getting rid of that, man.
Because this week we were initially talking about doing it this week, so you're getting a whole other week to make it happen. That's 3 weeks right there. So
I think we're gonna need to get you some.
Gives me the excuse to skip leg day.
And then
we're gonna buy you some.
The he has risen challenge. Maybe like a boner. Who gets a boner first? because
What
it's
the hell?
the Friday before Easter. So
Jeez
we can do the he has
Christ.
risen challenge. Let's see who bones up first. We'll each take a blue
Not
chew.
me. I know that much.
Yeah. Okay.
Take a blue chew, and then we'll see.
Fight the urge. Fight the urge.
Yeah, he has risen, baby.
Yeah. Anyways, man. I'm fucking taking Viagra with my boys. It's
Jumping
weird.
ahead, we got a pretty awesome guest, my guys. Somebody that I've been following since the Vine days. You know, back in good, I think 2013. So back in the those good, awesome times. I wish I used to have my shit archived. I thought I had it on a hard drive, but I can't find my old Vine, which sucks because they like gave you like a 2-week window to archive your shit. But yeah, I've been following this guy ever since. You know, via Instagram, not TikTok, and even on like YouTube. He did some stuff with another funny creator, Chris Melberger, which I'm also a huge fan of, and just a really funny dude. And come to find out, has some bars. So maybe we'll see, you know, if we can pump those out. Which, you know, I'll have to maybe give a little update on my bars. You know, kind of on those things. But without further ado, let's bring them on, guys. For episode 140, we have Jay Cyrus on with us to talk some shop on TSP. My man.
What's up, guys?
How you doing? Welcome to the show, TSP. Appreciate you giving me so much time. Welcome to the show.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah. And I got to say, man, you got dope setup. I don't know. Are you also doing like the Twitch thing too?
I do broadcasts. I do podcast stuff. And I do a lot of these remote podcasts as well and meetings. So I just up the game a little bit.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
It looks awesome.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, it is pretty dope setup for sure. But yeah, I mean, we'll kind of jump to the beginning, at least from when I kind of first kind of discovered you back in, you know, in the Vine days, the glory days for some. I look back on those times pretty fondly because, you know, what a time, man. And yeah, I remember kind of seeing people like you, like I said, Chris Melberger, and then Casey Fry, all those guys, and those were kind of like top 3. Nick Coletti, and I always remember kind of just those were some of the first people I followed besides like friends, and yeah, who knew that just 6-second videos could you know, be just as funny as like a 20-minute you know sitcom? Because sometimes you guys would put in, I'm sure just a 6-second video could take 2-3 hours to maybe put together, you know, some of those, you know, setups and kind of skits and sketches and stuff. But
it's funny because
back in those times, I mean, how'd you kind of get involved with that and you know, all that stuff with the good old Vine?
Yeah, no, I think Vine was just a different world. You know, of course, all those people you mentioned are legendary, great Viners. But I think it was just kind of the answer to the problem of YouTube, which was at the time, you know, the most popular thing was YouTube, and then Vine came. And I think there was just like so much starvation for creation from people that were ready to do it and, you know, had the talent, but maybe just weren't as ambitious to, you know, because YouTube's a struggle, especially back then. It was like, you know, you had to like make long form content and, you know, write it, produce it, star in it, edit it, all that other shit. And I think that with Vine, it was just kind of like, hey, do you have 6 seconds? You know, like, can you figure something out? Can you figure out a punchline? And I honestly, to this day, and I don't think that, you know, maybe nothing would have came of my comedy talents or whatever, you know, it may be that I got popular for on there, but I think to this day, without Vine, I don't know if I would have ever explored that so rapidly and it's just like so efficiently. And I think Vine just kind of gave you this platform, this kind of medium to be like, you know, if as long as I have a punchline, you know, I can make this work. Or as long as I think of a quick idea, you know, like a GIF or whatever in your head, and then you bring it to life.
Yeah,
I think that was like the success of Vine was like, you know, brevity is the soul of wit. And if you can capture somebody in 6 seconds, you know, you're great. And I think people did maybe take like 45 minutes to work on a 6-second Vine, but I think especially the people you mentioned and myself, the beauty of it was just like, oh, fuck, you know, it came to me, so I'm going to make it.
Sure.
Wasn't anything we really put a lot of effort into.
That's
yeah,
nice.
Think about today, like all the big like influencers on YouTube and stuff came from like obviously Dylan, your favorite guys, you know, the Paul brothers came from there. David Dobrik, you know, they had all their start on there, and they were able to kind of branch off during a time because they kind of just abruptly kind of shut down the app in like 2017, I think.
I didn't understand why that even closed down.
4-year anniversary. I think Twitter bought it out and then just
yeah. Twitter kind of was posed with this, you know, the situation of like, yo, we got to turn the lights off somewhere. It's either going to be Twitter or Vine, and they didn't want to close down Twitter, so they essentially closed down Vine. I mean, the app was doomed from the beginning, and you know, you see all these like integrations now in Instagram and TikTok where it's like so easily monetizable for the platform to make money without kind of prodding the creators to pay them. And it's like so weird that Vine just couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, whether it just be to put 6-second videos in your feed of like, you know, advertisers and whatnot, which would have been like the easiest thing. But their sources to keep the platform running were just way too expensive. Millions of dollars a month to keep these servers on, and the platform wasn't making any money. So they were just tanking. And they, you know, the Twitter actually at the time was very unsuccessful with, you know, keeping the lights on themselves. So they were just like, we have to do something. And they took it down. I mean, then Twitter had like a spike of like popularity. And I think now it's just going back to this like presence of just a garbage app where people are just yelling at each other and
dude,
shit.
I hate Twitter. These two love it. I hate Twitter.
It's not a real place.
I'm right there with you.
It's full of shit. People always bitching at each other.
It's kind of this black hole, like this void that everybody keeps yelling into, thinking that people give a shit about their opinions, and then they you know it's so crazy because it's the absolute ignorance of people can say whatever they want on Twitter, and in that world it just becomes true.
Yeah,
you know, like because like once it's on a screen and you read it as a consumer,
it's real.
It's like, oh man, that's real.
Yep. Yeah, that's got 12,000 likes, man. That's accurate.
Yeah. It's gotta be the truth.
Yep.
And it's like a lot of people like they don't have anything to fight for, and their lives are kind of like, you know, lacking. So they're like, man, I'll get on Twitter and just become a fighter. I'll pick a thing to fight, and I'll do it.
They might not even believe in what they're saying.
With like,
no, exactly. It doesn't matter.
Anderson Silva profile pic. You know, it's always something that's like hiding behind
anime.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Some fucking anime cat girl thing.
That honestly, I'm a time you'll scroll through and always the people that have 100,000 likes, like it's some rando profile picture.
Yeah,
but
there's
Twitter was cool for a while, like you said, but they started trying to like pick shit from other different platforms. Like, well, I can't remember the name of the shit they were doing, where they were doing basically Instagram stories, but on Twitter.
Yeah, they did that. They did the Clubhouse thing.
Yeah, they're still doing that. Yeah, so I don't know. They're kind of all over the place. I think they kind of had like a good point there, but I think they just kept trying to like be everything in one, which that's, you know, they didn't have to do.
They all copy each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset if Twitter had a day where nobody went to the office and the building blew up.
Holy shit.
Nobody in it, of course, but just, you know, it's a garbage app for me.
100%.
See what Elon does with it. How crazy is that?
Yeah, he's going to give us an edit button
on
or something.
Autopilot, and nobody will be able to use it.
Yeah, run somebody over on a bike.
Have auto tweet. I didn't even tweet that. like my Twitter did. But
doesn't matter anymore. It's not about your opinions or your thoughts anymore. We'll take it from here.
My Twitter account keeps just buying Tesla stock. I don't know what's happening.
Mine keeps saying pizza's great. That's all I kept saying. Pizza.
Why?
Yeah, right. A trash ass pizza. Fucking trash.
Yeah. But when Vine did get the doors shut down and the app, you know, got kicked out, one, were you able to archive your stuff? Like I said earlier, I was able to. I don't know where my shit went, but were you able to keep all your stuff? And then kind of like, did you did you kind of have any kind of plan B post Vine, or kind of how did you navigate post after that was the case?
I'd say I feel like I get asked this question a lot, and I think for the most part, when creators that came from that platform get asked this question, they kind of play it cool. But I'll be honest, I was that was like D-Day for me.
Oh,
I was very much like upset. I was very much confused. I mean, even though I knew it was coming, and I had friends that worked at Vine and Twitter, and they had months prior that it was getting the can, and I was just kind of like, all right, this will be okay. But I was devastated, really, and I did save all my stuff, but I saved it on the computer, the entertainment company that I was working for at the time. That in my head, I was like, I'll be here forever. And I never got it from them. So I don't have the archive at all, which would have been great because a bunch of Viners sold NFTs when the first thing, NFT.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It made quite a lot of money. But no, I of course was devastated, but at the same time, it's like I was like, well, this is just testing. This is like a proving ground. If you truly are meant to be where you are, you'll get back there, or you'll figure it out, and you'll keep entertaining. And the thing about the whole platform that sucked for me was towards the end of it, they really started kind of reaching out to creators. They hired a woman who was like very, very, she had like a huge heart for the people on the app and the creators, and she would do great things for us. Send us on trips to like Paris and London, and put a little money in our pockets, and just allow us to create in different places. And so, since I was blessed with that, in return, I was very loyal to the app. And by that I mean I didn't make Vines that were like, yo guys, go follow me on Instagram, or yo guys, go check out my YouTube, because for whatever reason they didn't like that. They weren't anything like TikTok will give you a link on your bio that goes to your Instagram and YouTube. Yep. And for whatever reason, Vine was just like, the people at Vine were so upset if you advertised yourself off the platform, even though a lot of huge creators did it and they were able to carry a lot of that crossover to, the next thing. I didn't do it because, they were doing so many great things for me that I felt like I had to be loyal, and I didn't do it. So when it all stopped, I was fucked. I was like, oh shit. Like I didn't cross any of this stuff. I never told people to go to my Twitter or my Instagram. And if I did, it was in passing and I deleted it, so with the exception of like my very last Vine where I was like, hey guys, like Vine's closing, go follow me on Instagram. By the time that happened, the app was dead. Nobody was on it. So, I had to build up again. And, luckily, what was Musically, which is now TikTok, the people down there really wanted me to create on Musically. And the stigma was just a bunch of teens kind of on their cameras, and it was nuts. So I didn't really want to get on Musically. I was like, but they like pumped my shit up, and I would post. It was funny because they were like, please, like we're trying to break that stigma. We're trying to get more comedians on the app and all this stuff. So I'd post like Vine type content, and you would scroll, and it'd be like a lot of these kids doing all this stupid shit and making, and then you scroll, and there's like this guy in his late 20s making like fucking comedy, and these kids are like, ew, gross. But they pumped it up so much that it still got views and it still would resonate. And like what I started to notice in the Musically times, it's like I would make all these dynamite comedy sketches that would really get no love, but then like some 14-year-old kid would use the audio and get millions of fucking likes and views.
What?
And I was just like, oh, this is discouraging. Like I don't want to do this anymore. So I left it alone for a while. And then of course, years later, TikTok became what it was. They were bought out. They changed their whole system, and people started posting like really funny stuff on TikTok. And then I came back to it, and of course I'm doing better on it now, and I feel like I'm getting the audience that I want. So
there's one you do that cracked me up. It's like, I don't know where the cartoons are from. They're terrible looking, like the southern.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you do the voices to him.
Yeah,
like,
little Bubby Child. He's
dude.
Great animator. He's a wonderful illustrator. He does that style of animation.
It's so gross, but I love it.
My favorite. Like the Billies, Dr. Katz, like squiggle line, like just it looks like a genius toddler drew it.
Yes. It just cranked me up, dude.
But yeah,
used to race stock cars in the 70s. Like, I'm just like, oh god, here we go.
It's so fun too. It's so fun to do because I grew up in New Orleans for the most part, but then in my teenage years and my early adult years, I was in Tennessee, and so like I had a lot of people that were like that around me. So every time I see one of those people, I'm like, oh my god, that reminds me of this person, and I just do their voice.
That's awesome. Yeah, I always, if I'm scrolling through TikTok, I don't care who's doing one of those, I'm gonna watch it.
Absolutely.
Like they're so bad. I love them.
I don't think I've seen
his name is Mr. Hamilton. He's
Mr. Hamilton does good ones too. Yeah.
Really
I haven't seen a bad one.
Yeah.
I've seen ones that are like similar. It's like, okay, like this isn't much different, but it's still good.
When TikTok bought Musically, like, did you get to carry over kind of the following you had already kind of maybe built up already, or did you have to start over like again after that?
Yeah, it's weird. No, I did. I not only did I follow, I carried over the following that I had built up briefly on Musically, which was like, close to 100,000 or so. And like I had a verified account, like they were like really stoked on me being on the app coming from Vine. So they gave me all these perks, they verified my account. They put me on the For You page a lot, even though these kids hated it. They're like, who's this fucking old guy? But when the crossover happened, yeah, I kept all that. But what sucks about that really is that when you're a verified creator, the stigma is, oh, this person's verified. They should be killing it on every post. They should be super popular. We should also know exactly who they are. And then the fact that the followers that I got from, the push were ghosts at this point because Musically had died so much before it became TikTok that like, especially in generations and demographics that followed me, that, it was like, who's this guy with 100,000 followers that's getting like 6 views on his videos and he's verified? What the fuck? So like, I had to go through this trial of like just looking so weak as a creator and nobody watching my shit. And then finally, like it started to pick up and it was kind of crazy having to do everything from the ground up again. But
is it cool being verified?
No. It's
nothing different, huh?
It's such a saturated thing now. It's like, what is verification even?
Yeah.
There's so many loopholes around it. And there's just like these kind of computer nerds that are like, well, I found out that if I can, get a Blogspot article written about me, I can get verified. It's like, you're just finding out cheat codes in the game of life, brother. You're not talented.
Yeah.
There's nothing verifiable about you. So it's like when I see a blue check, especially mine, I'm just like, yeah, okay, cool. The internet knows who you are, I guess.
Neato.
Neat. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it took, I do like TikTok now. It kind of took a little bit to kind of get into it because, like you said, initially, especially when it first like transitioned over, we went from like the weird ass like Musically videos to them like seeing 15-year-olds doing like dance routines and stuff, and then it kind of like gravitated towards like now what I see today, like cooking, comedy, music, all kinds of clips, and it kind of is like almost some aspects Vine on super steroids. But the algorithm is nuts. We had a guy last week, Flamingo Jackson. He's a comedian on TikTok, and he's got like 60,000, but he'll have like one video that has 20,000-30,000 views, which is pretty good for him, and then the next one will have 200. So it's just kind of crazy how they kind of pick and choose what kind of gets through that that first ceiling or whatever, and what has to stay down in the Shitsville.
It's so random, and it's such a formulaic thing that, again, people with absolutely no talent and no business being in front of a camera figure out, and they exploit it. And I don't have the time, and I don't really understand it like that. I guess that's like just something that I've never really put a lot of effort into, is just figuring out like when to post, which hashtags to use, like, what to do afterwards. And you see so many of those videos that are popular, like, here's how to get big on TikTok. And it's like, okay, what? It's like, I think of it and I'm like, how whack would it have been if when I was like, 13 years old, there was a commercial that was just like this formulaic cheat code, like, here's how to get into a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. It's like, what? like what happened to just being X Factor and funny and like good at what you do? Like here's how to get popular. Do something a lot of people like. No, fuck that. No, that's not how we do it anymore. We have hashtags now, dude.
Yeah, I add the Home Depot music and do a backflip.
Yeah, we
or whatever the hell it is.
Film my dad.
Like, and it's so funny because other countries are laughing at us. They're like,
oh, definitely.
Look how crazy these idiots are going for mediocrity. Anyway, let's showcase engineers and people that are actually doing crazy stuff in our country.
Yeah, that's how they do it in China. Is what I heard is they run like actually intelligent TikToks, not.
Oh my god, yeah,
not thirst trap boys or whatever they're doing.
A buddy of mine runs VPN type stuff on his phone and like made his phone basically like he was in China on TikTok, and he scrolled through his For You page, and I was just like, I feel so stupid right now. I feel like such an idiot for contributing to the zeitgeist of whatever American TikTok is.
Yep. Spicy link in IG.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean that's the other thing. There's like so many spectrums, like what's good and bad, and what's a detriment. And I, like there's so many like sex workers now that have like such a high following and all this stuff, and like good for them. Like I back that, I support that. I think that's great. But like you do see a lot of that where it's just like, yo, why is this person famous? Oh, they have an OnlyFans.
Oh, they put their butthole on camera. Got it.
Which again is great, but I think, and maybe it might get to this point where like they have their own app of just like, hey, are you like a sex worker that also has X Factor? Come join, Tit Talk or something. I don't know.
There we go.
And
like, naughty mom talk.
Yeah, like I've of course I have a lot of friends that do that stuff, so like I'm not bashing it. I just think it's like crazy how we've came from like Vine, where dude, like Vine was the wild west for me at the time. I felt like you could do anything on Vine, and now I'm like, dude, this shit would have never been okay on Vine.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about. You don't know how to say it, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of want to interview somebody who like started OnlyFans and then the shit didn't work out. And then they gotta like realize that they put their whole shit out there.
That's such an interesting thing because that's another thing where it's like, there's like girls that start OnlyFans and guys that start OnlyFans and whatnot, and you see like really successful ones, and you're like, okay, like they're successful because they're probably working their ass off. They're doing, they're posting stuff every day. They're, getting collabs. They're obviously sexy. They're, as an individual, they're, they've got something that a lot of people want, which if OnlyFans has taught me anything is that there's something for fucking everyone.
Oh,
and, because, I'll see somebody be like, hey man, I'm starting an OnlyFans. I'm like, you? What? Like, yeah, but it's just gonna be my feet. I'm like, all right, I guess there's something for everyone. But I think it's like there's also this detriment of like dudes that start OnlyFans just to have sex with girls. There's like such that thing because there's guys that like they have like a great job or they're already like getting their followings up and like they don't have to necessarily do it, but they're just like, dude, a lot of dudes are getting so much play off OnlyFans. I think I'm gonna start one. Well, what? I don't think that's why the girls are doing it, bro. Maybe you should think about it for a second.
The guys too, they like because the girls can they just be hot and they're all set, but guys have to go like the extra mile. Like, yeah, man, I do these balloon animals with my fucking dick out, and
yeah,
make like $1,200 a month, so it's pretty dope.
I drew this helicopter with a hole in the top. And check this out. We're
flying. I got a boner the whole time, but it's cool.
I used face paint. I made an elephant out of it, and I made noises.
Yeah.
We have a guy that was on here, a buddy of mine, who did an OnlyFans, and his tactic as a straight man, knowing that he probably wasn't going to get a lot of following of just like women because women wouldn't pay for sex. If they want sex, they just get sex. But
absolutely,
he would target and market to the gay community.
That's a thing. That's definitely a thing. I think there's a lot of women that probably do the same thing, and
right.
I think there's a lot of people that probably be like offended by that and be like, oh, that's baiting or whatever. But I mean, if you have
it's marketing.
Yeah, if you have something that people want, regardless who the people are. I mean, let's get back to equality. Like, if you have something that you want, give the people what they fucking want. Doesn't matter who they are. You know, like
$20 is $20.
$20 is $20, my guy.
A couple years ago, like TikTok was kind of facing the same fate as Vine was for a hot second. And I think the government was wanting to get that shit shut down because, you know, China owned it and all this stuff. So then I think I've seen like 2 different rounds of like all the big creators making their like farewell videos to try to kind of do, like you said, back in the Vine days, like pull people to their Instagrams and YouTubes and stuff. Like when you kind of seen that shit happening, were you kind of like, fuck, here we go again? Or were you just kind of indifferent on it?
Yeah. It was funny. It's funny. First of all, it's funny how many like rival apps like were like, hey, we're still a thing. Come over here to, you know, and then the apps that got created, they were like, we could be the new TikTok. And it's like, okay, like this is fun to watch. This is funny. I personally was just kind of like, I was ready for a reset, you know? I was like, you know, if this happens, cool. Like, let something else come along and let me just like hit the ground running and really pump myself up and try to be like, you know, one of the first people that, you know, pioneer it and make it a thing. But I also thought like there was like a funny sequence of memes of like, you know, like Vine being like, oh, this is your first time here, huh? Like, oh, like, you know, like in the sense of like, we've been there before. Like we've already been through this. I thought that was funny. But I also just ultimately was like, there's no way this app can go anywhere. There's just no way. I mean, of course, there's a way that the government could shut it down. But at the same time, it's like all the things that would have to happen for that to be viably legal. I don't know. I mean, I'm not educated on that stuff, but it just didn't seem likely because Trump's feelings were hurt. You know, I don't think that it was just a likely situation. So it really didn't scare me too much. But, you know, it's like also, if I learned anything from Vine, is don't put all your eggs in one basket and don't like, you know, put all your emotions in one thing. I mean, there's people with TikTok profiles that if it was gone tomorrow, their life would be in shambles. And I can't let myself get to that point for anything, you know, because I mean, I've been through that with Vine. I mean, I even went through that with Twitch where I was just like streaming too much. And, you know, I had a mental like breakdown and I had to stop streaming. I was just like, you know, going through some really bad shit mentally, you know, and then other stuff happened where it was just like I was getting no support, you know, mentally from anybody other than my therapist and friends. And I was just like, you know, damn, dude, that was so devastating for me. I wish I would have never put that much emotion and transparency into something, knowing that one day it could come back to completely haunt me. So I don't approach any platform like that anymore. I put all that into the craft itself. And I'm like, you know, like this is something that nobody can take from me. So this is what I'll spend all my focus on. This is what I'll like really invest my energy and emotion into, because this is something that I cannot be ripped from me. This is something that the government can't shut down. So like, while I'll do this in effort of like, you know, having a presence to entertain, I'm not going to keep it so close to the pocket that if it was to die tomorrow, I'd be devastated again.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dylan.
I was just going to say, as far as putting all your eggs in one basket, you're just talking about a platform or just the entirety of it creating?
I'm sorry, ask me again.
So like you said, putting all your eggs in one basket, as far as like TikTok, you don't want to like kind of like put it all in one basket there. If TikTok were to vanish, you wouldn't be in shambles. Are you talking about just like TikTok in general, like, or kind of diversifying and make sure you're on all platforms? So if TikTok shut down, you wouldn't be in shambles, or are you kind of like in a sense of creating in general? You wouldn't be able to create in general. You wouldn't be in shambles.
Yeah. So I think for me, it's just like, I'm going to be able to create no matter what shuts down.
Right.
And that's a given. But does that always mean I'm going to be able to have a platform to show what I create? Luckily, if TikTok shut down, yeah, there would be other platforms where I could do that.
Right.
Now, if all of them shut down, here's the most beautiful thing about that is if all of them shut down, then it goes back to that ancient time where you had to be funny and you had to be entertaining to
you mean effort?
Yeah, you had to put in effort. So it would be funny to just go to a bunch of like open mics and do stand up again and watch people be like, "Hey guys, did you see the other day?" And I was, it's like, okay, what the fuck is this?
Corvette.
What is happening here? And they're like, "Hey, can you play the sound that I queued? It's somebody else's audio, but I'm gonna lip sync it and make a funny face. You guys down for that?"
You guys like hip thrusting?
No, that looks weird in real life. Sorry. Next.
I follow I follow one called a user called I think it's Influences in the Wild, and it's just like behind the scenes, everybody like doing that stuff in public. It's just
that's funny.
Like it's secondhand cringy to me. Like I feel embarrassed for them. Like oh,
there was a time where TikTok was full of like, it's crazy. I did like a whole video about this, but there was a time before TikTok was kind of rolled out to, like the masses. I think there was like this marketing strategy to get it out to adults. And I think what happened was it really got out to middle America. And it was at the time where you could buy like track phones and Android phones from like the CVS out there in middle America. And it was like this crazy widespread of adults from like, 30 to maybe 58 that were just making the weirdest shit. So weird. They were like doing like sexy thirst traps, but I don't know. The filters were just completely intense, but it's just like it was the wildest thing. And I would get on my For You page and I would just, it was so crazy because after like 30 minutes of watching, I could feel my shoulders hurting. I was wondering why my shoulders hurt so much. And honestly, it was because my shoulders were literally going like this as I was scrolling.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, dude, cringe is an actual muscle.
It's a weird feeling.
It can hurt. It can literally hurt.
Those are the kind of videos I love to send my brother-in-law.
Dude,
I know he's working in his office and he sees that shit come through and he's just.
I wish my phone was still that. Honestly, that to me is the most entertaining shit ever. I love
mine's screwed up right now. Like I always tell these guys, it's MILFs on one end, dudes in prison. It's just off the wall.
Prison
cars.
TikTok. That's my shit. I love prison TikTok.
Yeah, prison TikTok is
prison hooch. Let this shit sit in a blanket for 3.5 weeks and come back to it.
That is exactly so good, though.
I'm like, all right.
It's so good, dude. I'm waiting for like a prison love story on TikTok. It's like two guys TikToking back and forth from like different cells. It's like, awesome. I'll meet you on the courtyard. That's what I want to see from prison TikTok.
I'm ready to hold hands on the racquetball court or whatever.
Yeah. And it's just like, as an audience outside of prison, we just watch them. We're like, aw, but really, in all reality, they both murdered people. It's like, wow, why are we getting these people?
Whoa. He's gonna make a great bottom.
That's what's so funny to me is like, we watch prison TikTok and we're like, oh, like this is so cool. Like they're in prison, they're doing stuff. And it's like somebody will go on Twitter and be like, so-and-so cheated on their girlfriend, they're canceled. Oh my God, I love prison TikTok. It's like, yo, those people fucking killed someone.
Yeah.
Right.
That's my favorite chef just happens to be a murderer,
Yeah, dude, I love him. He's great, dude. He makes toilet wine, but
he's the best at it.
Family.
I really like how he turned his outlet into a tattoo gun hookup.
People can change. She's popular on TikTok. So.
Yeah, he kills people, but everyone deserves a second chance. Okay?
Everyone deserves a second chance, except for that, that YouTuber that used the wrong kind of bait when he was fishing.
Yeah, they're going on the wrong guys.
I don't know. Some of them, your boy David Dobrik. What's up with that guy?
Yeah, man. Honestly, I don't know. I'm so far removed from the situation. I just don't like because people do ask me, since I was like some of the vlogs in the beginning, they're like, yo, what do you think of the whole David situation? I'm just like, all I can
not
tell
my
you is
business.
I removed myself from that, situation and scenario, not because I didn't want to be there or, I didn't think these people were my friends, but just because I was, at the time I didn't have the mental capacity to like be there and do that and hang out in that way and stuff like that. And there's also probably, on the other side of the coin, they probably were just like, Jay's getting sober. Like he's not going to be drinking. He's not going to be fun. I don't want to have him around. Or they just were like, we don't want Jay around. I don't know. But when people ask me about it, I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I think that, anybody who broadcasts their life in an edited format is just bound to get, fucking exposed for something or another. And, whether their intentions be ill or good, you just don't fucking know. But that's the thing. Like, I think people really just kind of jump to this world of like, well, that means they're a terrible person. And it's like, I can see how you could get there. And I don't, deny that there might be some truth to your feelings. But in that sense, just like don't consume the content anymore,
Don't watch it.
Like
easy.
It's so easy to just not watch it, And if you're going out of your way to watch it and, you're spending money or you're giving them money to complain about them, at that point, I have to question your, like who you are as a person, like
exactly.
So I don't know, man. It's like, I've spoke to David recently since all that stuff, and there's just so much uncertainty, there's just so much like, of course, like the situation with Dirty Dom, that guy's just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And
where did he come from?
I don't know, but I've always been in people's ear about like, like what's the deal with this guy? But I didn't have any finite concrete evidence against him. I just got a bad vibe from him, and I didn't really pursue anything. And he was always kind of nice to me, but I would still be like, what's the deal? This dude's just making a bunch of videos of him kissing a bunch of girls at a party. Like, is this the new form of entertainment? I didn't get it. And then of course he blew up in the Vlog Squad, and then he made a fucking huge mistake, and at the expense of this girl who came out and was like, yeah, I actually wasn't cool with that. And you just respect that and be like, that's fucked up. And I think David, of course, I don't know exactly how he handled the situation or what. Like I said, I didn't read too much into it because I'm just so detached from it. But you like I said, you do so much, and you film so much of your life and so much of you as a person, and then you edit only the good parts in, that it only takes one little bad part for the world to turn against you, So it's like, I can't say it's anybody's fault but the entertainer at that point.
Yeah. I think he just got to a point where I think he kind of got detached from like reality and just kind of noticed like, all right, I'm getting tens of millions of views. Like I need to go to the next level to keep going up, get 20, 30 million. So I mean, that whole thing with like the newest thing now is him and Jeff Wittick, where he swung him around on the fucking excavator and nearly killed the guy. He's still, I think, gotten how many different surgeries, and there's a whole big thing. But yeah, man, it's pretty nuts, dude. I think it's just like you said, kind of being in an environment and scenario where like hanging out with your friends is like a scripted like situation is kind of nuts. I couldn't kind of imagine doing that 24/7.
It is, and I mean, we're like, men are stupid. We're dumb, dude. We do dumb shit. Yeah. We do such dumb shit. And honestly, like, you take this back to like 2005, you put this David Dobrik, Jeff Wittick situation in a perspective of just like a bunch of friends who are crazy, don't have a following at all, and are just doing dumb shit on spring break. At the end of the day, it's like people would be like, yo, man, that was fucked up what David did to Jeff. Anyway, let's go get tacos. And that would be it. That would be it. And I'm not mitigating the situation. It was fucked up. Yeah. Absolutely. Like, Jeff shouldn't have had to go through that kind of shit. But it's like, you're a bunch of dumb guys doing dumb shit. Everybody's at fault, really. Yeah. and I don't know the details of the situation, so I don't know like if David really had like this malicious like I'm gonna fuck my friend over thing going on. Maybe he did. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it just sucks that if, for one, it sucks that Jeff had to go through that. But it also sucks that it even happened and that the world has to really hyper focus on it. But I mean, David's, I guess, just running with it and just doing whatever he can to just avoid it, which is like kind of weird to watch too. But I don't know what it's
working
like
too, which is even weirder.
Yeah, like I don't know what it means to be that big, to be that much of a presence. So I'll never know what's going through his head.
What's he like 18 million followers right now or something?
Dude, he's larger than life.
Rich,
I don't know.
He's like chilling in his $10 million house. He's got a show on Discovery.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
He's got a second show on Discovery in the midst of all this. Like he can somehow slip through the cracks, man, because he'll give away a Tesla every month. But
I mean, I don't even know what, man. To be Jeff Wittick. I mean, Jeff Wittick is also somebody that's just like on such a scale that it's just like I can't speak for either one of them. I can observe and be like, yeah, that's fucked up. Like, well, my personal experience, like, I don't know, David was, for me, back in the day, David always just kind of was like this young kid who just looked up to me as a comedic viner and would always just be like, that kid. He would just be like, man, I love your stuff. Oh man, you'd be interested in what I had to say about things, and he would love to create. And we did improv classes together, and like I just thought he was just like a fucking kid who was growing up, like going through whatever he had to go through, and then his vlog shit took off, and I was happy for him. But you get to a point where it's like, hey man, you got to watch everything you do, and I guess he didn't.
It's like you said, like not to mitigate anything, but it's almost like you choose the career path that doesn't allow you to make any mistakes during an adolescent stage of your life that you seem to make a lot of mistakes to learn.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I tell you what though, man, if there's ever a scandal that comes out about Mr. Beast, I'm fucking done. That'll be the last straw.
You're a big Mr. Beast fan?
Dude, I mean, well, yeah, because like he makes content, because I got 2 kids, like we can all watch his shit together, and it's very rarely is there something like on YouTube or something that they like that I can also enjoy. I mean, I can only watch so much fucking Blippi and Ryan's fucking toy reviews and shit.
Yeah, I don't know much about Mr. Beast.
I mean, he seems. I mean, David used to seem, genuine, but he seems like a genuinely good dude that just kind of continuously makes incredible content. And like I said, if something comes out where he's like a dickhead or ends up pulling some David Dobrik type shit, man, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, it's those type of people that are like, I'll do whatever it takes for the content.
Yeah,
which nothing against Mr. Beast, but I feel like he's that kind of person.
Oh yeah.
They all probably have their demons. It's just how you work them and which ones you bring to light, and that's not saying anything bad about Mr. Beast, but I mean, I anybody that just goes above and beyond the realm of sanity to entertain, I'm just waiting. I'm like, okay,
he's got to be crazy.
Is this going to work out all the time? I know like I said, I don't know much about him. From what I understand, he first, came to the scene by just maxing out a bunch of credit cards and tipping streamers ungodly amounts of money for videos, which is like, yo, that's a hustle. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you're going to, figure out your shit and get it all paid off. But that also was just like, oh, okay, this is like the type of content you're not going to consume because you don't care for it. But then, you saw like we're putting 80,000 Big Macs in a Tesla and whoever can eat it first will get it. It's like, okay.
I missed that one.
Yeah. I mean, I made that up, but it'll probably be next week.
You lost. Here's 10 grand.
There you go. Here's 10 grand.
Yeah, that one blows my mind.
And you can cash your doctor bills after eating 60.
I mean, he's no Steve will do it with the money, but he's all right.
Yeah, but hold on. Off camera, you got to sign this NDA. But thanks for coming out.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, no, but I'm sure he probably won't disappoint you because he seems smart.
Yeah,
and regardless of how tactical he is with getting the content and at the expense of whatever it is, it seems like he fills in the gaps, which some creators don't. They're like, hey, I'm going to get this scene and it's going to suck and you're probably going to get hurt, but I'll fucking give you half of what the video makes. Like, that's all it takes.
Sure.
Like that's,
Sign me up, dude.
I'm sure if Jeff was to be told by David in the beginning of that scenario, like, hey man, like you don't have to, first and foremost, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. Secondly, if something happens, I'll cover all medical expenses. And third, if this becomes a huge thing and I profit heavily off of it, I will make sure you're taken care of. It's that simple to be, to make sure everything goes smoothly.
100%. I got a couple more things I want to touch on before we jump in the mill and start to wrap things up. But I definitely wanted to get into, I think it's either Instagram or Twitter. Maybe it's been a little while now, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I remember you kind of made a post kind of explaining that you were kind of having like mental health issues and in a real dark spot in, at that point in your life. And you kind of laid it all out. And this was at a time where like you didn't really see a lot of people do that, whereas like it kind of is different. It's almost like a default thing for people to do now.
Yeah,
like if you fuck up or do something stupid, they'll kind of lean on that because people kind of which is not necessarily a bad thing, but more people seem to be more mental health conscious now than back then. So at that time, I mean, you didn't really see that a lot. So I just at that time, I mean, what made you kind of want to unveil and kind of post like your real personal stuff? Because you're a comedian guy, so people are expecting to see, haha, funny shit all the time, and then in the midst of all that, you kind of put some 100% real shit, kind of in the middle of all that.
Well, I think that in the spectrum of expectation and being a creator, I was finding myself more and more in this situation of having to explain myself for absences or lack of content or like weeks where I didn't post anything. And, it got to the point, and it's honestly, dude, it's just so brutal. It's such like, it's not fun sometimes. And it's like, if I'm going through something mentally, or for like, I'm in a situation where I'm in a, depressive episode or a manic episode and I can't post because of it. And I get messages that are like, yo, what the fuck, man? You don't post anymore. You're fucking has been, blah, blah, blah. And then there's other messages like, hey, I hope you're okay. You haven't posted in a week. Like, can we, maybe get a video tomorrow? Or like, can you do this? Or, special requests. And like, all that's good and fine. And I get it. Like I chose to be where I am. I chose to do what I do. So like, I'm not going to get offended by those messages or, take a lot of, accounting from them. But I felt like I was in a position where I just had to explain why there would be weeks where I couldn't post, or why there would be times where I didn't want to be funny, or times where nothing was funny in my life. So, I was complaining to a friend about it. And I was just like, it sucks that like, you put this persona out there that's all good and happy and funny and everything's great and it's unicorns and rainbows. And the second that it's not that, people either attack you or, expect something from you. And I said it out loud. I was like, I wish I could just tell them that I'm just like bipolar and it's not always a fun and games.
Yeah.
And he was like, bro, make a fucking video. Like, and you're right. At the time, nobody really had any, there was like, a little presence of this or that, but it's not like it is now where it's like everybody blames anything on mental health or it's such a thing where it's like who on the internet isn't suffering with mental health or, whatever. And, I like to attribute a lot of that to just now there's just more of an open conversation about it and people feel more comfortable, of course. Sure. But, as somebody that deals with mental health stuff, I can see that a lot of people are just like trying to become martyrs for mental health and being like, I get depressed. It's like, really?
Do you though? I mean,
they said your name wrong at Starbucks.
Yeah.
That really fucked you up, huh?
They spelled Mark with a K instead of a C.
Yeah,
it was my day.
And it sucks because it does make a lot of mental health claims and whatever, seem a little bit lesser than, but that's why even in my video about being bipolar, I was just like, I'm not, like this is not an open call for you to tell me your problems or me to inherit your problems or you to be like, hey, Jay, I also suffer with this. What is your advice? Because I'm not going to give it to you. Like, I go to therapy for that stuff, and you should too. And, you know, it was tough because I didn't like, it was so hard to make the video because I'm just sitting there in like my true self, just like whining about my own problems. But B, it's just like, you know, you get a lot of backlash, and for the most part, the feedback was good. It was like, hey, man, we're in your corner. We support you, whatever. But I feel like when you're that transparent with an audience, there becomes this parasocial connection of like, well, he confided in us and he, you know, trusted us with this information. So therefore, we must have some kind of connection to him to expect things out of him. And that's when it just goes south, because then you can't be everywhere at once. And, you know, people feel like, oh, like, come on, like you trusted me with information. Like I deserve your attention now. I deserve like the responses to my messages. I deserve your undivided attention. It's like, okay, I'm sorry, I can't do that. And then it's like, well, if you can't do that, then fuck you. Then you're a terrible person. Fuck you and your mental health. You're awful because I didn't get the attention that I wanted.
You were talking about those messages. Like, how do you read those comments, those evil, just shitty comments, and just not have a bad time?
You know, I used to like, first of all, I'm not somebody that really gets a lot of hate comments, thankfully. But when I do, and I get hate comments or messages, it's like, for the longest time, it would like upset me. I think just because I'm sensitive, like I'm a bitch. I am so sensitive, and I didn't realize that until the internet. Like my skin is thick in a lot of ways, but there's a lot of ways that it's just paper thin.
I get it.
And you know, like I think I finally realized that it's not about what people who don't know you think. Yeah. As long as you know who you are and you know that you're doing the work and you're talking to somebody who's a licensed therapist that is doing the work with you and giving you the actual educated knowledge that you need and advice that you need to, you know, either become a better person or maintain just humanity. And I don't care. If somebody doesn't think something's funny, like that's whatever to me. I don't care. If somebody wants to comment on my appearance, again, that's whatever to me. I don't care. But if somebody wants to like make a claim about me or say that, you know, what I'm doing is wrong or detrimental because this, that, or the other thing, or that, you know, they assume that I'm a bad person, or they assume from this that like, this is how I feel about something, or this is the way I do things. That's when I'm just like, well, they don't fucking know me. And that's like, I don't care about what they have to say. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Like they live in their own world that I thankfully never have to live in. I don't ever have to be a part of it. So like, I you know, here recently with comments and shit like that, which again, they're not very frequent, but I just see it as, you know, I'm so thankful that I don't have to live in your world. And there's a part of me that has sympathy that wishes that you didn't either, but you do.
Good that you don't entertain those. It's probably what they want you to do anyways, to kind of get
absolutely.
a rise.
That's all they want. All they want is the attention.
Right.
Yeah, you'll see those comments too. Like they'll make a shitty comment, and then the creator will respond back, you know, fuck you, blah blah blah, and then you'll see them comment back, no, I'm a big fan, man. I just wanted to have an interaction. You know, great videos.
I did a Vine about it years ago where it was like a Vine commenter at a restaurant. Like, yo, man, these fucking wings suck. And the waiter's like, I'm sorry, can I get you anything else? He's like, honestly, man, I'm just so glad that you talked to me, dude. The wings are actually pretty fire.
Yeah,
that's just always how it is. Always.
Yeah. Wild.
And like
I want to definitely sorry, go ahead.
The comments of like, you know, like the minimal things of like, this sucks, or like, this isn't funny. It makes me laugh so hard because it's the equivalent. It's like you're walking down a street of restaurants and you know which one you want to eat at. And it's the one of the last ones. But every restaurant before that one, you open the door and go, hey, just to let you know, I'm not going to eat here because I don't like the food. and then you walk on.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
That's the equivalent of like a commenter being like, "This wasn't good." Okay, don't watch it, idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a comment for that matter.
Or if you have a critique besides
Don't
that,
eat here. Don't fucking eat here, bro.
Crushed ice. What a
This isn't-
loser.
I don't need your reviews, bro.
Yeah, right.
fucking stupid. Is there any one like? Is there one that sticks out in your head? Do you ever remember like something that was so wicked?
Oh,
Like,
I always talk about my favorite comment ever.
Yeah. What is it?
It made me laugh so hard. So my teeth are like not, picture perfect dental examples. And I guess I did a Vine where like it was super close to my mouth and face. And somebody just commented, "Yo, my dude looks like he brushes his teeth with dynamite."
That's fucking wild.
It was so fun. I was like running around my apartment showing all my roommates. I was like, dude, this is the funniest fucking comment I've ever gotten in my life. I love it.
That's
but I always
incredible.
talk about it. It's such a good comment.
That's such a sick, simple ass bird. Just
simple, but like
clean.
so hilarious. Like your teeth are so fucked up that it looks like you brushed them with dynamite. It's so good.
Oh, fuck you too, I guess. Like, how do you respond to that? You can't say shit back.
I responded and I was like, "I love you."
Yeah.
I was like, "Roast me on every Vine, please." And the dude actually ended up following me, and he was just like, "Bro, I'm sorry about that." I was like, "Don't be. Look at this beautiful relationship we've come across."
That's
incredible.
I want to touch on the music. That's kind of the last thing we'll get into, but yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, I mean, when did that start to kind of be a thing, and then future goals, aspirations with that? Do you want that to maybe take over, your content, where you're doing more music than you are, comedy stuff, or what's your plans on that side of things?
I think my aim was always just like whatever hits. Whether it be comedy or music, I'm just going to keep doing both. But with music, I love music. Music is my first love for sure. I got started doing it because in high school, I would just start freestyling at parties and, just be drunk. And not that there's any competition in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee for the rap scene. But, I think I was enabled so much by being kind of okay that I was like, I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life.
Right.
Because you would say like probably the flimsiest bar at a cabin party full of high schoolers that you were with, and they'd be like, "Oh shit, oh, he talked about the color of his t-shirt." And it's like, yeah, man, I fucking did that. That's right.
Yeah, man, give me some more jungle juice.
That kind of enablism can really make you feel like you could go toe to toe with Eminem. I'm telling you, it was a sickness, and I wish it never happened. But also, yeah. So I got so much feedback from my peers that was like, "Dude, you gotta make an album," and I did. In like the basement of my house, between two mattresses and a Walmart mic, I made like the fucking shittiest music and passed it out to everybody at school. And the enablism continued. Everybody's like, "Dude, this is so sick." I could play any. I don't have it. It's ceased to exist. I don't know where it is, but I guarantee you, I could play any track for all of you right now, and we wouldn't get through one without laughing hysterically. But over time, I just kind of got better, I guess. And I've always enjoyed music so much. I grew up in a very musical background. My father was the Louisiana Music Commissioner, so like we were always.
What does that even mean?
To be honest, I can't give you the full definition. I just know that everything that came through Louisiana and specifically New Orleans, where I was, where I was born, that had to do with music, whether it be in a live presence or, coming out to represent the city, it kind of had to go through him, I guess. And, they kind of had to keep a lock on which festivals were coming to town and how they were organized and whatnot. I'm assuming it sounds like that's what it was. And from what I observed, that's what it was. But I was just always around musicians. My father's a musician as well. My brother's, a musician. So I've always just had like this crazy knack for it, and I've always loved it. I can play pretty much any instrument, but I can't read music. I have synesthesia, so when music is played, I see colors, and like it's just something that I really have an outer worldly experience with in the studio and outside the studio. So I've always just loved it, and if I did get super successful off of it, I of course would be very, very proud and happy. My first album after Vine actually did do top 50 Billboard hip hop, and that was like an amazing thing for me to be a Billboard artist and get to go to the award show and all that other stuff. So, I could probably put more effort into promoting it. I don't promote it as much as I should, I guess, but really, like, I have such a love for it that I don't need anything else out of it, So I just
that's like your true passion.
Yeah. I just love it. I love music so much. I write music too for other people, and I've actually ghostwritten, a lot of things too. So it's been fun. It's been a good process to see things that I create on like a massive scale.
Hopefully it wasn't the Jake Paul song.
No, I didn't. I wanted to work on the Jake Paul song, but
you wanted to be the God Church line? Is that what you wanted?
Yeah.
What was the one? London was my city.
Oh, London is my city. Yeah. That's I think that was their agent at the time. He was like, well, if you guys are gonna rap, I'm gonna rap too. Here I go.
Shit was so stupid.
Oh my god, what? And then the twins? Can we switch the language? You remember that? Those twins that came in at the
fucking
end?
Goofballs, yeah.
I remember I saw them at the Grove in LA, and they were like surrounded by girls, and I just literally walked in the crowd and I was like, hey, can we switch the language? And everybody just started laughing, and I was like, okay, cool, my work's done here.
And I'm out.
See you later.
It was funny though.
You got anything on the horizons here on music side? You getting ready to drop anything or anything in the near future?
Yeah, I'm working on kind of an experimental project right now. From what I've seen, oh man, I don't know how to really put this delicately. From what I've seen, a lot of people have success in country music. With very minimal effort, I think.
Yeah.
There's amazing country artists out there. Okay. There's amazing country songwriters. There's a lot of people that are popular for an absolute reason. But I think that country music, and this is just for me. I think country music for me is like one of the easiest things to write and do. And I want to just take a crack at it. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to roll that out, or even if I'm going to do it under the moniker of Jay Cyrus. But right now I'm just working on doing a lot of experimental stuff with other genres.
Billy J. Cyrus.
Billy J. Cyrus. Oh my God. That's it. Let me write that down.
You're in, man.
I'm in.
No, I think I'm not really a country fan whatsoever, but it does seem like modern country is kind of paint by numbers. So I think I think what you say is right. Not too difficult, but man, I'll be on the lookout for that. That'll be interesting. But,
yeah, man.
Yeah, I definitely want to touch up on the music stuff. That was kind of interesting, part of things that you do, kind of a jack of all trades. But Dylan, let's jump in the mill, and then we'll get a little this or that going, and then we'll close out with the final question, and we'll wrap it up.
All right, sounds good. Boom. Go around the mill with Dill with all topics sport to current events. We talked about Will Smith last week and the slap that was heard around the world. Well, the Oscars have laid their law down, and the final verdict is that he is banned from the Oscars for an entire decade. And I tweeted out saying that good thing he won his Oscar. He finally won his Oscar because he won't have the chance to for the next decade. But someone quickly replied saying that that is not the case. Apparently, he is able to still make movies and be nominated within the Oscars. And I was like, that makes no sense.
He just can't go to them.
How can he win awards from an institution that he's banned from? That doesn't make.
It sounds like he's just banned from the shows itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His appearance.
Yeah.
I guess, right? I don't know.
That's what it was saying.
Send
To
Will
not be
up
able to
there.
win an Oscar would seems a little harsh, I think.
Right.
I don't back what Will Smith did, but I think the state of Hollywood as a whole is just in trouble, and it's scary. And no, it sucks. Shout out to Chris Rock for handling it how he did, though. For sure. But I mean, Will, if it takes 10 years, if it takes 10 months, Will's got to figure something out, man. I think that slap was a long time coming, and then Chris Rock wasn't the target, but
not at all. He just happened to be there.
There's definitely a common denominator between the two, and I think it's Jada Pinkett Smith. I think there's some video that popped up this week. I don't know where the hell it's from, where she's like filming him about who knows what, but somebody, I think maybe I don't know if it's a marriage counselor or what it was, but she's like, hey, don't you want to say that she's helped us so many times, blah, blah, blah. And then he comes out and says, like, I wish you would tell me you're going to film me. And it was really awkward and a little cringeworthy, but it's, I don't know, man. I think she definitely is a big part of all this, but hopefully, like you said, we touched on, a lot of mental health this episode. I think hopefully he kind of gets the help he needs. And I think it would be very beneficial for him to maybe take another break and get the hell away from her or something. I don't know.
Right.
That's crazy
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think that's any of I know we talked about where it's almost like the norm to go right into like a mental health argument. But I don't think that's like his case. Just like, I feel like he's going through a lot of shit, dating years back, maybe even like Fresh Prince era, all kind of collaborating with Jada, because you brought up Jada also, Bobby, because she said that she apparently never even wanted to marry Will, that she felt guilted into marrying him. And like, she's like on record saying this, felt guilted because she was pregnant with Jaden. And I guess she cried at the terrible wedding that she had. And it was like all this stuff. She's just fucking putting him on blast after like, he's already crumbling at. So I do feel bad. And like you said, I hope he does kind of like get his wits about him and covers.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, otherwise, who are we going to call when I Am Legend situation happens? We need him. Or iRobot. I mean, what if the Teslas take over? I'm calling Will.
Or if the alien shows up.
Exactly. What about Independent?
Yeah. Yeah. Because Tommy Lee Jones is way too old to help us.
Way too old, man.
Yep. Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
He could use Uncle Phil still need to be here. He needs Uncle Phil right now.
Yeah, he does need Uncle Phil.
Everyone needs an Uncle Phil.
Dude, he needs to just come out with a song right now called I Miss Uncle Phil. And I think everybody would be like, damn, Will.
We get it.
We get it now, bro.
Well, I don't think it helps him being in that Scientology stuff either.
Is he in Scientology?
Yeah, look it up. They try to say he's not, but him and Jada opened a school for it. From what I was reading, I don't know how true that is. Hey, look that up.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about the internet. You don't know it's fucking true.
That's why I say it like that. From what I read on an article.
Read it on Twitter?
No.
Yeah. If you read it on Twitter, it's definitely true.
Yeah. More times than not, for sure. In other news, we do have another celebrity hookup. This one I don't know the details on, but for whoever cares out there, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck did get engaged, even though there were rumors out there that they might not work out. There's a lot of memes going around. They're at a basketball game courtside. They didn't look very happy or interested in one another. They have hitched the wagon as well as what was it, Travis Barker and Kim Kardashian, or not Kim Kardashian,
Kourtney
Kardashian. Yeah, Kourtney Kardashian. Yeah, I saw photos of that wedding in Vegas.
When was that?
Married by
I didn't know
Elvis
that
Presley.
happened.
I don't know. A lot of shit happens, man, when you're a celebrity.
Yeah.
In that family, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Wait, who's the first couple? Oh, yeah, Ben Affleck, J-Lo.
Didn't see that happen.
I love J-Lo. So all I can do in that situation is be extremely happy for Ben. I mean, as far as J-Lo goes, I just think, damn, dude, she's like in her 50s. That's crazy to me. That's how struck I am by her name, even. I hear her name, and I just automatically see her in, The Wedding Planner, and just how hot she is. I'm like, wow, she hasn't changed a bit.
What was that movie where they were strippers or dancers? Sorry, they were exotic dancers.
Hustlers or something?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, dude, Usher breaks it down in that movie, I think. But yeah, no, and the Travis Barker thing, it's like, some people are just meant for each other, you just let them be, and whatever's clever, and I think there's all this like this crazy like cyclical thing of like people that get to this presence or this like notoriety and like this larger than life imagery, and they just want to find somebody that they can bask in the chaos with. And like Courtney and Travis Barker, like, it's not a shock to me. I'm not like, oh my God, I would have never thought that. It was more of a shock to me that she dated whatever
what's his name,
Scott Disick. That guy is an NPC in a video game about businessmen, I guess.
He's a fucking goober.
I don't know.
He's
what
a fucking goober, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
I never knew what he did. Like, I know Keeping Up with the Kardashians,
he was
on
there.
I was like, what does he even do, man?
I think he was like, I guess just husband, boyfriend, whatever. Before.
Present.
Apparently, he just shows up and gets paid to be like present at a nightclub.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like what? Every time he opens his mouth, I just feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone, and somebody's informing me about Judgment Day. I don't know. I'm like, what? Excuse me? Are you about to send me on an Elder Scrolls mission? I don't know.
It's out there. Another thing here is that Spotify, they always do these things I mentioned before where they have new music Fridays. I like to pick out some songs or a song that I liked. And a big one that seemed to pop up is Jack Harlow popped another song with a Fergie sample of First Class. So it is definitely fire.
I think it's great. I think the wordplay or the structure of what he did to the sample is great. He toned it down on the delivery. I think his delivery is very nonchalant. It's almost like in a very freestylish pentameter, which is cool. But I just love the I've been a G, throw up the L, sex in the AM. I think that's just like so cool. And I heard about on TikTok how this girl made a video about like how he missed an opportunity to say, and I give girls an O, like an orgasm. But then I was just like, yeah, but then you got to do the OROUS too. And it's like, that's too much. I think he just like the brevity of it is perfect. And then also if he was like, I've been a G, throw up the L, sex in the A, M, give a girl a OROUS. A lot of people would be like, what the fuck is an Orus? And how do you give it to a girl?
Sounds painful.
Orifice.
It just sounds stupid.
Yeah.
I think, Jack Harlow is just like, it's wild that like this style of white boy is now like so dominating and so cool, because I feel like that's who I was in high school, and nobody gave a great fuck about it. Like nobody cared. They were just like, oh, whatever, bro. You want to be Eminem idiot? And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Cool. I'll just go to Math 5.
He's the man, dude. I'm a big fan of his.
Yeah, he's great.
I thought the new single, it's not bad. It's kind of like middle of the road for me, but I'm seeing people. I think all these girls that seen that initial video and heard the sample thought it was going to be, basically you're going to hear the fucking glamorous, song throughout the whole thing, which is like, go listen to the regular fucking song. I'm seeing lots of TikToks, tweets where it's like, it's not giving what I thought I was going to give. And it's like, well, it's not a Fergie song. It's fucking Jack Harlow.
Yeah, I think it's a great song.
You know what he's going to do, but he's talented as shit, man. He's awesome. Yeah,
I love it. I think it's great. And what else? Like, you could put what's the PD Pablo song? It's like dun 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 dun. Freak a League.
Oh yeah.
You could actually put that synth over this song, and it works. And it's like so crazy. I love all the nuances of like back to like the early 2000s it had.
That's my favorite time.
That was like the Lil Jon, freaking Pablo, Jazzy Faye, Cash Money era was just like, yes, dude.
The best.
I love it.
Love the
And,
early
Bill
2000s.
Johnson, he's got to give us one more crunk album, man. I know he kind of went like
yeah, dude.
EDM or like club music route, which I'm
I
sure
just-
made him buku money. But
Where the
give us
fuck are
one
the
more
East
crunk
Side Boys?
crunk
Bring
rap,
the East
man.
Side Boys back and let's get some crunk in
Yeah,
there.
grab your gas
Please, dude.
cans, or whatever you guys are sipping out of those. Let's come on back.
Big Sam and Little Bo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, the big old chalices with all the diamonds on them, dude. That's
What was going on back then?
football, half basketball jersey.
Lil Jon used to drink out of an actual gas can.
Yeah.
That was so cool. That was so cool.
Seen him at,
I don't know
the
how they did it
MTV
without making a
Awards and shit.
mess. You ever try to fill your lawnmower up? With that gas can, this shit's spilling everywhere. What the fuck you
It's like
drinking
the
out of it?
Especially today's.
they
Yeah,
thought
you gotta
about
like clip it in.
Like
and
hold
shit.
this
It'd be
down, push
terrible.
one down.
Yeah,
what the
man.
Fuck.
That's fucking good.
I miss Mike
Wrapping it
Jones.
all up. Yeah, wrapping it all up here on Around the Mill with Dill on more of a sadder note. We actually just got this today, so I just added it in here. That former Ohio State quarterback, Steelers quarterback, and Washington quarterback, Dwayne Haskins has passed away as a horrific accident in southern Florida where he got struck by a vehicle. Only 24,
Wow.
going to be 25 on May 2nd.
man.
And that news definitely. You're
I
from
haven't
the
heard that
Midwest
yet.
area.
That's the
It
first time I'm
Broke
hearing that.
probably like right before we came on. Yeah,
Right.
like
Yeah.
it just broke a few hours ago, which it was nuts. He was down there in Florida working with a bunch of quarterbacks. If you go, you can even go watch his Instagram story. Like he's just great spirits. Like one of them, he's just kind of relaxing in a pool. Like it's crazy, man. It's like
That
20
sucks.
hours ago. Like obviously he doesn't, he obviously didn't see what's the impending doom. But yeah, man, I got struck by
That
a car.
young.
I don't. They don't really. I don't know how that all got set up, or if he broke down on the side of the road, got out, and somebody swiped him, or what it was. But man, that's just sad story. Because we're all based out of Ohio, and he was a Buckeyes quarterback, so big.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of his. And then Adam Schefter was kind of getting fried up on Twitter because it's not a horrible tweet, but he kind of just was like Dwayne Haskins, like star quarterback of Ohio State, who struggled to make it in the NFL, got struck by a car and died. And people were like, "Well, why the fuck doesn't matter?"
Yeah, why
how
do you
good
gotta
in
drop
the
that
NFL,
dumb
like,
shit?
Guy just lost his life, like so he was getting
Yeah.
fried up, but yeah, you kind of just gotta watch your
Fucking
words. But
Twitter,
yeah,
man.
super sad, man. 24 years old, like he's still a kid, like.
To be that young, that talented, and have that
Yep.
much going for you, and it all ripped away is just like
Yeah,
it's the saddest thing, dude.
super sad, man. Yeah,
No one knows
just,
their time.
No,
yeah,
man.
yeah, exactly.
I like to
So,
like
yeah.
think light of the situation and think that somebody up there is just recruiting talented, awesome people.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, we need this guy. Like
Positive spin for sure.
Yeah,
it's just it's what really sucks about it is that this man has had an effect on so many lives, and probably an inspiration to a lot of people too. And what's good is that it does teach us that you don't know your time, of course. And I just hope that somewhere somebody who's a big fan is just like still going to push forward and still going to take everything that they learned from this man and get to a point where they hold things near and dear to their heart that that he's shown them throughout their lives. And it just sucks that being that young and that promising, all it takes is the mistake of somebody else to just fucking can it for you.
Yep.
Wow, man. Step
Yeah,
out your
so
front door
fragile.
now.
rest in peace, Dwayne Haskins. Definitely appreciate all the awesome memories and great moments you gave me and all the Buckeyes fans, and definitely thoughts are definitely with his family. I don't know if he had any children, but yeah, it's gonna be a rough time for those guys for sure. But glad we were able to put that in there, man, because I was gonna shout that out at the end for sure.
I hate to end it on a sad note, but that wraps it up for the mill.
All right, well, Jay, we're gonna have you enter what we call the TSP Arena. And we ask that you just respect the very hollowed walls of the arena. And we're going to have you take a seat, and we're going to do a little this or that. Dylan's going to put 90 seconds on the board.
I'm
We're
here.
going to fire off a bunch of these and see how you do. We're going to throw some tough ones at you, so get ready.
Okay.
All right, 90 seconds on the clock. Here we go.
T-minus 90 seconds.
Coke or Pepsi?
Pepsi.
Breadsticks or rolls?
Breadsticks.
Music or podcast?
Music.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
Loyalty or respect?
Loyalty.
Money or free time?
Money.
Candy or popcorn at a movie?
Candy.
This is always the big one. Over or under toilet paper roll?
Can I say either?
I guess.
Either.
But over is the correct answer. Ice or hot coffee?
Ice.
Super sandwich?
Sandwich.
NFL or NBA?
NBA.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Scary or funny movie?
Funny.
Rock or hip hop?
Hip hop.
Jeans or sweats?
Sweats.
Sausage or bacon?
Bacon.
Board games or card games?
Card games.
Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
Smoothie or milkshakes?
Milkshakes.
Drive or fly?
Drive.
Pirates or ninjas?
Pirates.
Batman or Spider-Man?
Batman.
Disney or Nickelodeon?
Nickelodeon.
Zoo or aquarium?
Aquarium.
Xvids or P-Hub?
Xvids.
There it is. Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Fair enough. Not bad, man. Not bad at all. No stumbles. Rolled right through. I am a little concerned that it seems like you sometimes do put your toilet paper roll under. Which,
I don't have a preference.
Okay.
Whichever way I put it, when I put it, I don't think about it.
Okay.
Because
Fair.
I guess I just can grab the toilet paper either way.
Right.
So it's like whatever to me.
Maybe it's like OCD thing for me. I don't know. But
Maybe. That's the one thing I'm not OCD about is the toilet paper roll.
we all are, I guess. But we got one final question for you, and it's a question I ask all our guests at the end of each episode, and that is, knowing what you know today, what is one thing you would tell your 18-year-old self?
Stay focused. Only focus on what you can control. Be more into your craft than you are into girls that are just going to break your heart and do nothing for you. But also respect everyone and understand what that means. And, keep your emotions in the pocket. And the number one most important thing I would tell my 18-year-old self is start therapy immediately. So,
I like that, man. That's a good answer right there. I think you're around our age. We're in our early to mid 30s. So unfortunately, when we were all 18, we didn't really have the internet to jump on Xvids. That would have helped with being able to maybe pay less attention to the trifling ass females out there. So
much
we still had to download our shit off LimeWire. It took 2 days.
And then it would be mislabeled and fucked up.
Yeah.
I remember the fucking before the LimeWire days. You remember just one picture of boobs loading on the AOL screen.
Yeah.
So your mom picks up the phone, fucks it all up.
Right.
LimeWire porn that's a totally different podcast to talk about. LimeWire.
Yeah.
Start a whole new podcast based off of that.
Porn and it ends up being like Faces of Death. The guy's getting ran over by a train.
Dude.
Like, what the fuck?
I can't come to this.
All right, I guess I'll watch the rest of this.
That's actually scarred me because I was a very efficient person and I was like, well, I'm just gonna make this work.
Yeah.
Now I can't get off.
A hole's a hole, I guess.
There it is. That's a great way to end it right there.
It is.
Jay, if you want to throw all your socials, so if we can get some people to check out your stuff and kind of see all the good shit we've got to coming to know and love, please do it, man.
Cool. I'm just at JCYRUS on TikTok, of course, and there's a dot between the J and the Cyrus on Instagram. I'm also at JCYRUS on Twitch, and that's about it. That's about only three things I use. So
I recommend though out there, if you got to look it up, it's just on YouTube. I assume it'll pop up if you type in Sex Dudes 4. it's you and Chris Melberger. That's probably my favorite video you have ever done.
The fourth
shit
one
is fucking hilarious, man. Where it's
man, that's a good.
I'm gonna call. Hey, room service. Can we get some forks delivered to room 30? I'm about to eat some ass tonight. It's fucking hilarious, dude. It's every time I watch it.
About to eat some ass tonight.
Funny, man. Yeah, you guys gotta look it up after we get off here. But thanks again for coming on, man. It's been an absolute honor and a blast to talk to you, get to know you a little better. Big fan, and even bigger, more so now. So keep going up. We'll definitely keep following you, man, and hopefully, we'll bring you back on in the future and talk some more shit.
Of course, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, sir. Dylan, you know what time it is.
Yes, sir. That's a wrap on episode 140 of TSP Season 5. Another amazing episode. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Make sure to show some love to Jay Cyrus. Follow him on all platforms there. Follow us at Talking Shop Pod. We're close to our goal there on Twitter, so be sure to show some love. Like, comment, and subscribe. The algorithms on just doing that alone help more than you even know. So thank you all. Have a wonderful week, and take care.